Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of our special 2022 LinkedIn Live series here at Scholars. I'm Parker Pell, one of the co-founders of Scholars, where we're focused on everything early career candidate experience, engagement, and retention, ensuring that teams are doing their part in delivering an experience to early career candidates that early career candidates are actually looking for, and making sure that we're pulse checking our processes and iterating on strategy to ensure that we are truly transforming the experience that we're providing a candidate from the first day that they interact with our brand into their last day at our company. So excited for this week's episode that came in actually from one of our peers in our early career recruiting space who asked a question about how they can help connect candidates that have accepted an offer to employees or peers within their cohorts before their first day. It's a super interesting question to think about, and we can get really creative with how we approach this question. But on today's show, I'm just going to cover kind of 5 effective ways to connect early career candidates to employees or peers before their start date. So with that, let's dive right in. Obviously, if you have questions on this live feed, if you're able to tune in, please drop them in the comments, and then I'll do my best to monitor them and answer those questions kind of as we go along. So first, what are the 5 kind of things that we see most effective with our partners in terms of how they are connecting early career candidates to peers or employees before their first day? The first one, it's no surprise, but it can be effective if managed properly, are group chats. So what do we mean by group chats? Group me's, pages where candidates are within a specific cohort, any sort of communication group where a group of candidates that have accepted our offers are living. Now, I mentioned managed effectively. That's kind of the main point that I want to come across in this specific way to connect our candidates with their peers before their first day. Is in order for that to be effective, management has to be strategized and executed appropriately. We're not just going to throw candidates into a group chat and hope that they just start rambling and talking about one another. But if we can do things as a recruiting team to manage that specific group chat or group of peers to start to facilitate those relationships in that community building sense in a virtual setting, it can go a long way in terms of kind of helping build that sense of relationship and rapport that we know is most effective and imperative as it relates to decreasing early career turnover. Within your group chats and your pages, one thing you should be doing is using polls. So polls about hobbies, interests, things that they're most excited for, just thought starter questions that are going to show candidates in the group that they are peers with and like-minded individuals that they could connect with about their specific job that they're going after. I think that it's extremely imperative as we think about how can we start to show those peers and understand that at the end of the day, they are with people that are like them, and they are going to do their part to make sure that they're doing everything that they can to form those relationships and form that community within that specific group chat. We should have someone on our recruiting team that is specifically designated to kind of the management of that. The management of those polls, surveys, those sorts of things can be on a bi-weekly basis. They can be on a twice a week basis. It's really based on kind of whatever you feel most comfortable with doing as it relates to your early career candidate experience. Sorry about that with my video there. And another thing I would say is opening up kind of office hours. If our recruiters have 15 minutes once a week that they can just open up a live link for people to be able to showcase exactly kind of where they are at, that goes a long way to make those group chats most effective and start to connect those candidates with peers in the space. The second way we can connect candidates with peers and employees at the company are utilizing junior buddies. So, junior buddies are a super interesting topic that we have heard people come up with. And I think that it's imperative for us to kind of dive deeper into. Junior buddies aren't effectively mentors, but what they are former interns who maybe have converted from an intern into a full time employee and are a senior. They've been through the process before themselves, and they can provide some good clarity and context to interns that are upcoming in our cohort about what their experience was like, what they did well, what they didn't do so well. And it's a no pressure peer to peer community building conversation where they know that they're getting kind of real world advice and real life examples from that junior buddy. We're able to kill honestly two birds with one stone utilizing junior buddies, because if an intern that's converted, that's a senior, is willing to be a junior buddy, that goes a long way in showing that that intern that's converted is bought into our company culture, is ready to go and join after they graduate as a senior as well. Give junior buddies kind of commonly asked questions, conversation starters, or just kind of general ideas or things that they can do as well. To make sure that the conversations are helpful at the end of the day. Third thing to connect candidates to their peers, it would be monthly events. What we can do is bring in employees to form those facilities and connections as well. By getting 1 to 2 executives bought into the idea of coming on a monthly event and talking about how they run their program, how interns have impacted their work as well, which I think goes an extremely long way in terms of kind of building that candidate to employee and peer conversation as well. Obviously, if you're hiring 50 plus people, you might want to break out these monthly events into smaller groups so they're a bit more effective for the early career candidates, that they feel like they can get their conversations and questions answered. And you can actually start to actually collect data around the engagement from these candidates. I think that that engagement point of attending events goes a long way in terms of kind of what's our retention formula and how are we collecting data to understand which candidates might be most bought in versus less engaged in that kind of time before they join on day one. And what better way to connect candidates to their peers than showing them that their peers are attending these events and have maybe the same questions that they have themselves. The fourth way to connect candidates to employees or peers before their first day is a new one. We think about it and call it employee video boards. We were talking to a company yesterday, actually, where they have a former intern yearbook, which I thought was the coolest idea, where at the end of an internship, they ask all their interns to just kind of give their honest feedback about their experience, and they keep a running track of that yearbook and ask if they can share that yearbook with upcoming interns to showcase what the experiences have been like of interns from the past, and give the interns that are upcoming kind of a full picture understanding of what life as an intern could be like at our company as well. I think that these employee video boards, though we're going to need obviously marketing to help us with those video boards, could go a really long way in terms of showing a snapshot of life as an intern at your company, brings it down to that kind of real life personal context as well, which I think is extremely imperative as we think about our retention formula and our retention strategy, and how are we connecting candidates to peers and employees in this kind of post-offer acceptance interim kind of time period, and utilizing different unique ways like an employee video board to provide value to our upcoming interns, but also be able to track kind of what that engagement is like on an individual basis as well. You should guide interns and former interns that help you create this yearbook to some general topics, but really let them speak from the heart and what they think was most valuable and would be most imperative for an upcoming intern to know as well. So it's truly an authentic employee video board that is showcasing to the candidates what life could be like as an employee, and showcasing them maybe some of their even future employee teammates as well. The fifth and final thing that I think goes a long way to help connect candidates to their peers before their first day are social media posts. So what I mean by that is interns who have accepted an offer come up with a fun hashtag, get your marketing team to create a graphic that they can share and post and honestly gloat about that they've just accepted an offer with your company to join as an upcoming intern, in this instance for this upcoming summer. I think that encouraging students to use this hashtag, search the hashtag, engage with their peers in seeing who else has accepted a similar internship offer goes a long way in showcasing that the intern is kind of fully bought in to the point where they are willing to post something on social media outwardly facing to their entire network and are excited about the opportunity to come and ultimately work at your company. In this day and age, we should be using any sort of outward facing recognition of an accepted offer as a very key data point in understanding if a candidate is likely to renege, might turn over, or is fully bought into our company as well. So I covered a lot there. 5 ways that we see employers connecting candidates with employees as well as peers before their first day: social media posts, employee video boards, group chats, junior buddies, and monthly events. Obviously, if you're even just doing a few of those 5 things, it can be effective, but ultimately strive to go forth and do all of those 5 things. I like to close this broadcast out always with talking about our next upcoming webinar. On March 2nd, we're hosting a webinar about scaling your mentorship program. I'll drop a registration link in the comments of this live video so that if you're listening to this and you're interested in learning how top early career teams are scaling their mentorship program to help with their retention strategy, please come and join us. I'm super excited. It's going to be a ton of knowledge sharing between early career recruiting leaders across all different industries. I'm Parker, one of the co-founders of Scholars. If you like this, obviously would love for you all to DM me. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you have an idea for a LinkedIn Live that you would like covered, please let me know. I'm happy to cover it for you. And check out our LinkedIn, our website, as well as our Slack group of early career recruiting leaders in the comments right there below. I'll see you all next Tuesday on our next LinkedIn Live series, and have a great day.